Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter-Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
You remember that Bertie Higgins song? We had it all just like Bogey and Bacall. Playing on the old Late Late Show. Sailing away to Key Largo. That's kind of what we have today. An episode of Bold Venture starring Humphrey-Bogart and Lauren-Bacall. This was broadcast 70 years ago, April 14th, 1952. And the title of the show, Sailor is a Wealthy Widow. We thank you for tuning in on this sure happy it's Thursday, 14th day of April, 104th day of the year, 261 days remaining until the end of the year. The first abolition society in North America established on this date in 1775, the Society for the Relief of Free Negroes Unlawfully Held in Bondage, organized in Philadelphia on this date by Benjamin Franklin and Benjamin Rush. Noah Webster copywrote the first edition of his dictionary. Copyrighted, whatever the proper term is. Anyway, that was in 1828. In 1860, the first Pony Express rider reached Sacramento. U.S. President Abraham Lincoln shot on this date in 1865 in Ford's Theater by John Wilkes Booth. Secretary of State William H. Seward and his family attacked in his home in 1865 by Lewis Powell. Yes. The big conspiracy theory? Well, it appears it wasn't just a theory, it was a conspiracy. Thomas Edison demonstrated the kinetoscope on this date in 1894, a device for peep show viewing using photographs that flip in sequence, and that was a precursor to movies. The British passenger liner, the Titanic, hit an iceberg in the North Atlantic on this date in 1912, and it sank the following morning. 1,503 lives were lost.
When our lifeboat hit the water, we could see there was a great big gash in the Titanic, and we could see the water rushing into this gash, in the Titanic.
One of the survivors of that horrific crash back in 1912. The first Volvo car premiered on this date in 1927, and Black Sunday, the worst dust storm of the U.S. Dust Bowl, swept across Oklahoma and Texas panhandles on this date in 1935. Videotape first demonstrated on this date in 1956 at what is now the National Association of Broadcasters Convention. This was back in 1956, so then it was the National Association of Radio and Television Broadcasters. It was on this date in 1958 the Soviet satellite Sputnik 2 fell from orbit after a mission duration of 162 days. It took them a while to get long-term orbit and geosynchronous orbiting, just get that science quite down. A Delta rocket's third-stage motor prematurely ignited in an assembly moment at Cape Canaveral on this date in 1964. 3 people were killed. A tie between Katharine Hepburn and Barbra Streisand at the 1968 Academy Awards. They shared the Best Actress Oscar. The first operational space shuttle, the Columbia, landed at Edwards Air Force Base on this date in 1981.
What a way to come to California. Welcome home, Columbia. Beautiful, beautiful.
Now, over 22 years of service, it completed 27 missions before disintegrating during re-entry near the end of its 28th mission in February of 2003, resulting in the death of all 7 crew members. In retaliation for the April 5th bombing of the La Belle discotheque in West Berlin, in which 2 U.S. servicemen were killed, President Reagan ordered bombing raids against Tripoli and Benghazi on this date in 1986.
Suddenly bombs were reverberating in the distance, and then the noise got closer. Screeching jets flew low overhead. Flares lit up the sky. Anti-aircraft fire from missiles shot across the bay. Our hotel shook and shook again as explosions continued, sounding in the distance. Only after the raid ended did lights go out all over the seafront. and soon a blackout covered the city of Tripoli.
60 people killed in the retaliatory strike. And in 2006, retired Army Major General John Batiste called for Donald Rumsfeld's resignation because he believed the defense secretary violated the principles of war planning when deciding to invade Iraq, and as a leader, he needed to be held accountable for those actions.
Leaders need to be held accountable. By that I mean we went to war with a flawed war plan. We certainly had the troops necessary to win the fight to take down Saddam Hussein, but we in no way considered the hard work to win the peace.
Batiste, one of 6 retired generals demanding Rumsfeld step down, breaking a long tradition of the military, steering clear of political involvements. Passing away on this date in history, actor Frederick March, singer Burl Ives, actress Ellen Corby, singer Anthony Lee, What Kind of Fool Am I? Musician Don Ho, Tiny Bubbles, and Percy Sledge, When a Man Loves a Woman. Great musicians all. Helen Keller's teacher Anne Sullivan was born on this date in history, as was Sir John Gielgud, actor Rod Steiger, and comedian Richard Jenny. The coal miner's daughter, Loretta Lynn, turns 90 years old today. A book and the movie about this man. He was a whistleblower against police departments. Frank Serpico, 86. Actress Julie Christie is 82. Pete Rose, 81. Although he's a baseball player manager, he is also a WWE Hall of Famer, in case you didn't know that. I know you don't care to have known. The 12th Doctor Who, Peter Capaldi, is 64. 3 Emmy Awards for Brad Garrett. And he was operating, before the pandemic, the Vegas Comedy Club in the MGM Grand. I don't know if he still is or not. I didn't check with some of my comedian friends down there. Brad Garrett, 62 today. Anthony Michael Hall, you remember him from The Breakfast Club and 16 Candles, and even as an adult in USA's The Dead Zone. Anthony Michael Hall, 54 today. An Academy Award for The Pianist for Adrian Brody at 49. Pro wrestler Lita, Amy Dumas, is 47, and she's still in shaping up. She does go. She did on, what was it, on one of these pay-per-views. Was it in Saudi Arabia? I think that's where it was. Sarah Michelle Gellar, 45 today. And Best Supporting Actress nomination for Little Miss Sunshine, Abigail Breslin. And also in Fox's Scream Queens TV show, Abigail Breslin, 26 today. And those some of the people who celebrate the 14th day of April as their birthday. And if this happens to be your birthday...
Hi, we're the 4 freshmen, and we just want to say... Happy birthday to you!
Humphrey-Bogart, Lauren-Bacall, Bold Venture from 70 years ago today, April 14th, 1952, is next on this Thursday. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite station.
Hi, this is Kyle Horvath with the White Pine County Tourism and Recreation Board. If you want to get away from the big cities and get back to nature this summer, give us a call at 775-289-3720 or visit us online at elinevada.net. There's so much to do and see, I can't mention it in 30 seconds, but check out our website and you'll see what Nevada is really all about. elinevada.net or follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Give us a call at 775-289-3720 or visit us online at elinevada.net.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
Humphrey-Bogart, Lauren-Bacall came to radio in a regular series because of transcriptions. You see, audio tape and all of that made the possibility for people such as Bogey and Bacall to go into the studio every 6 weeks or so, knock out several shows, and then go back, hit the golf course for a while, and collect some big fat paychecks. That's what worked for this husband and wife team. That's what brought Bold Venture about for a 39-week series. This episode of Bold Venture, April 14th, 1952, Sailor. That's, by the way, Lauren Bacall's character, is a wealthy widow.
Bold Venture. Adventure, intrigue, mystery, romance, starring Humphrey-Bogart and Lauren-Bacall. Together in the sultry setting of tropical Havana and the mysterious islands of the Caribbean. Bold Venture. Once again, the magic names of Humphrey-Bogart and Lauren-Bacall bring you Bold Venture and a tale of mystery and intrigue.
What'll I think of next?
Slate, what do you think you're doing?
Don't bother me, sailor. With innkeeper comes certain inalienable rights.
The right to hold the guest's mail up to the light and peek into their secrets. From these rights can come bruised peepers.
Are you going to blab it around, sailor? Emilio was that ship's mate who checked in here 6 months ago. When he shipped out, he left explicit instructions. I was to open his mail, get a few chuckles, then forward it.
Then why don't you just open it instead of holding it up?
Break me in two. I like to tease myself.
You got problems. I got problems. All Havana's chillin' got problems. I got dreamy a little while ago. Strayed through the mementos in my hook chest. You know what?
What?
The gun is gone.
No.
That little revolver you gave me last Valentine's Day. That .25 caliber Colt. Gone. Vanished. Missing. Stolen. Purloined.
Sailor, that gun was our song. That little souvenir of blue steel was... I will grieve later, sailor. A customer approaches. Good day, sir. Welcome to Shannon's place. Rooms 350.
Step aside, sir. Permit me one long, lingering look at this vision so many years lost, at this comely, beauteous, fair, and ravishing...
You heard the customer, Slate. Step aside. Go on, sir. Prithee, pray do.
I wander the world for a glimpse of you. There's no memory of me left in you, no remembrance of me, of Freddie Ney. Freddie, your husband.
Huh?
You lost a gun, you find a husband. This is your red letter day, sailor.
Darling, don't you recall the elopement from moonlit Biarritz, the highway that skirted the sea, the marriage at Juan-les-Pins, the little French charwoman who was your bridesmaid? You don't recall, beloved?
No, Freddie, I don't. But it's sure thrilling. Next chapter, please, so I can curl up with it.
And then your sudden farewell at the Bois in Paris, the autumn leaves, the search. Now you're healthy, well, comfortable. All I needed to know. It will sustain me through desolate years. Au revoir, chérie. Au revoir.
Gee, always a bride, never a bridesmaid. Slate, why are you looking at me like that? You don't believe
A man says he's your husband. A man ought to know about things like that.
You gone berserk, Slate. You think I'd misplace a husband?
Did you?
No. Don't look at me like that, Slate. I said no.
All right, if that's what you want me to believe, I believe you.
Forget it. All we have to do is call Inspector LaSalle. Tell him this phony is...
Be a nice girl and allow me my mood, sailor. Get your hands off me. Get 'em off.
Mark? Mark, wake up. Mark, please.
Don't jiggle the chassis, Freddie boy. It'll upset the fine balance I've struck between me and the Havana sun. Oh, feel that sun, Freddie boy. Let it run through your fingers.
Mark, I went there like you told me. I told that Miss Duval everything you told me to tell her. That I married her in France, that she left me, that I've been looking for her all these years, just like you said.
Tell me, boy, did it jerk tears, your performance? You're a sad thing. The tears must have been jerked.
I don't know what it did or why you wanted it. All I know is I want the bonus you promised me.
You doubt I'll give it to you, Freddie boy? You doubt a tender soul like me when I fed you, clothed you, filled your pockets with nickels for extras? So you could live this moment with that tangy Miss Duval?
You promised me, Mark. You promised.
And if I am nothing, I am a keeper of promises, Freddie boy. This little gun, small caliber, of a size to grow warm and misty in a girl's hand. For you, Freddie.
The sun touched you, Mark. I phony for you and I get a lousy lady pistol. What do I do? Get $6 for it from a native pawn?
That's what to do with it, Freddie boy. Die from it.
That makes you happy, huh? I'm talking to you, Slate. What's the matter? You hate yourself because you didn't stop fast enough and I didn't go through the windshield?
Get out of the Jeep.
Okay. Slate, listen to me, will you? For 3 days now, you've been acting like I'm off limits. Is this friendly?
There he is, sailor. Inspector LaSalle. He called you. He wants to see you. He's got the man who says he's your husband. I've been saving it up for that joker. Hi, LaSalle.
Buenos dias to you both. Please come with me. Into here.
What's this all about, LaSalle? Why do you want us here at headquarters?
I told you on the phone. About it is a man named Freddie Ney, the claimant to the title of husband to you, Senorita Duval. In here, please.
This is the morgue, LaSalle.
In here. A suggestion to you, Senorita. Take a handkerchief from wherever and start to twist it. Is this the man who said he was your husband?
Yes. Yes, that's him.
This man was identified from his prints. He was found shot to death in a room at 27 Pavano. A .25 caliber bullet in his heart. Such a caliber as a woman might use, Senorita. The truth, if you will be so kind as to turn over a leaf. Is this man your husband?
No.
Adios to the two of you. Corpses and murders I make my living with. And always in my bushy hair is you and you. Get out.
You baffle me, Slate. You get thin-lipped because I've suddenly got a husband I never married. Then you take me walking in dirty hallways. A regular baffler, you.
Your boy was killed in this house. Any man who says he's a husband of yours deserves a better fate than that, sailor. Take the long view, kid, and the whole thing is very piquing.
You broken down, my boy. You still think that he's...
I never think, sailor. I just ask the management.
Go away, please. No vacancy.
You're wrong, manager. The room where Freddie Ney was killed, that's vacant.
See, the police made to me a suggestion. They say to me, don't rent Senor Ney's room, Pecho. Pecho is me, a sucker for suggestions, with no vacancies.
You know anything about it, Pecho? Who killed Freddie? Maybe you know who visited him before he died.
Motto of this house, senor. No snooping from the management. The secret of Pecho's success. No vacancies. Goodbye.
No vacancies, huh? Only in his head.
Look who's pointing a finger. Come on, let's find out what makes you so married.
I want you to know how much I appreciate you doing all this for me, Slate. Running around, banging on doors, asking questions. Just for me. Makes a girl glow. Look at me, Slate. Like me when I'm glowing?
Why don't you go home?
It worries you, doesn't it? About Freddie Ney, about the murder, about my being mixed up in it. It really does worry you, huh, Slate?
Now, look, Sailor, the only reason I'm running around like this is because I've got a clinical interest in what's happened. I'm taking notes on it. Someday I'm going to write a book. I'm going in here for material. Go home.
Sure. I'll put myself in the window for you, Slate, and I'll still be glowing. Hurry up home.
Hiya, Maria.
What do you want here, Slate Shannon?
What's the matter with you?
I ask a question of you, Slate Shannon. What do you want?
I ask you one, too. What's the matter with you? Where's the big hello?
Maria and her pal so jealous have for you. Only the smallest hello that can be had. You see, I put my one finger over my thumb like so. The space between the hello from me to you.
Look, all I want to do is ask you a question, Maria. I'm trying to get some information about a man named Freddie.
About a murdered man named Freddie Ney, see?
That's right.
I will tell you. The whispers in the barrio says that Senor Ney is such a man as to be beloved by your Sailor Duval, to be married to her. And this you could not stand, huh? So you kill him. Friends of man who kill for such a reason are not friends of mine.
Now, just take it easy for a minute, Maria. I want...
And you will get from Maria this, the big goodbye. Goodbye, Slate Shannon.
Humphrey-Bogart, Lauren-Bacall from 70 years ago, April 14, 1952. Bold venture on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The news is next.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you.
And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required.
Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary.
800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Thanks for being with us here on this Thursday Classic Radio Theater, an episode of The Bold Venture, starring Humphrey-Bogart, Lauren-Bacall, as it was broadcast in most parts of the nation on Monday, April 14th, 1952. In the newspapers of that Monday 70 years ago, these were some of the headlines. Long-distance telephone calls reportedly going through with little or no delay yesterday, that despite picket lines thrown up in many states by some 60,000 striking members of the CIO Communication Workers of America. Federal mediators in New York, after only a half dozen hours rest, followed an all-night session, resumed talks yesterday with Western Electric Company and CWA officials. The mediators were hoping to break a deadlock with 10,000 equipment installers and 6,900 warehousemen and distributors in 43 states. General Douglas MacArthur said last night he is not a candidate for any public office. He made the statement in a letter to the chairman of the Young Republican Club at Reed College, Portland, Oregon. The former Far Eastern commander advised voters in the Oregon May 16th primary to avoid wasting their votes on me. As I have frequently said, I am not a candidate for any public office and have requested that my name not be entered in any state presidential primary. Senator Tom Connally, the Democrat from Texas, announced last night that he does not desire to be a candidate for renomination in the coming Texas primary election. Connally, the veteran chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, made the announcement in a statement last night at his office. The statement handed to reporters by his aides. The senator was not present. Connally, 24, completing his 24th year in the Senate. 30,000 striking Western Union employees have lost nearly $3 million in wages since they walked out 10 days ago, according to the company. In a statement, the company said many employees are returning to work. It said service has been restored in 834 cities and towns across the country. The United Nations Civilian Assistance Command announced yesterday relief supplies valued at over $20 million had poured into Korea from 31 countries in the past 9 months. In addition to aid from foreign governments, the Republic of Korea received contributions from about 20 private charitable and religious organizations. And those some of the day's top news stories as reported in the newspapers of Monday, April 14th, 1952 on your radio, Bold Venture, which continues now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
I am sorry, Mom, but Miss Duval is not at the hotel at the moment.
The moment just arrived, King Moses. I'm here.
A lady on the phone wishes to talk to you, Lady Sailor.
Here, give it to me. Miss Duval speaking.
This is Wanda Webster, Miss Duval. Agent for the Zapato Insurance Company. I hate to bother you at such a time.
No bother at all. No insurance at all, either. Well, it's been nice.
Yes, it is. $50,000 nice, Mr. Val. Or do you call yourself Mrs. Ney? I wouldn't know.
What are you talking about?
The policy on your husband, Freddie Ney. I'm handling it. You're the beneficiary, you know. $50,000. I'll have the check along in a day or so. Goodbye.
Hey, wait a minute. Hello? King?
Yes, Miss Sailor?
I never had a husband in my life, but shake hands with a wealthy widow.
Some strangeness here. That, I guess, you get to be a widow the same day you meet your husband. April 14th, 1952, 72 years ago today, Bold Venture, starring Humphrey-Bogart and Lauren-Bacall on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Are you suffering with arthritis or osteoporosis? Do you have diabetes? Did you know that these are just 2 of the hundreds of diseases that have seen improvement with Dr. Wallach's incredible longevity products? You can't get them at a health food store. The only way to get them is to call us at 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Do you have heart disease, fibromyalgia, or high blood pressure? Do you have a terrible time losing weight? Dr. Wallach can help. He was a veterinarian and cured diseases in animals. He felt that he could do the same for humans, so he became a physician. Over 50 years of research and helping people like you goes into every bottle of Dr. Wallach's amazing discoveries. Do you want to feel better? Learn how to treat the cause of your problem rather than covering up the symptoms with drugs. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065.
On Friday's Classic Radio Theater, we get weird. Really, an episode of The Weird Circle from 77 years ago, the short-run mystery and oddity program, April 15th, 1945, The Shadow. A man's shadow becomes another person and tries to control that man's life. That'll be on our Friday Classic Radio Theater, but let's wrap up this Thursday edition of Bold Venture, starring Humphrey Bogart and Lauren-Bacall, April 14th, 1952, 70 years ago today.
Back to Bold Venture. Our stars, Humphrey Bogart and Lauren-Bacall, and the second act of our story.
Oh, I could tell you things that would make you swoon, of tales that are told neath the blood-red moon, of very strange times, events so weird, in frozen climes and deserts seared. But the strangest one, I tear my hair, concerns Lady Sailor, a maid so fair. She gets without benefit of usual clergy, 50,000 bucks, widow's beneficiary.
Sing that last line again, King.
50,000 bucks, widow.
That's enough. $50,000, King. I can't touch that money. That 50,000's not mine.
Into each life a little rain must fall, sailor. A maxim I learned at the feet of a wise man at the foot of a mountain in lower Tibet. What 50,000?
Tell him, King.
50,000 bucks, widow's beneficiary.
You kiddies want to play games, I'll draw you a hopscotch ring. Or you want to tell me about $50,000?
I got a phone call a little while ago. A nice voice said I inherited that much money.
Hey, what is this, sailor?
How do I know what it is? The nice voice said I was going to get a check because my husband was dead. Because he left an insurance policy for $50,000.
Who called you and told you about all this money?
Well, she said her name was Wanda Webster, an agent for Zapata Insurance Company.
Oh. Well, stay here, sailor. I'm going to find out why you stand still and somebody drops $50,000 on your head.
I looked through your house, Wanda girl. You weren't there. So then I closed my eyes and I thought to myself, where would a woman of such beauty and form hide herself? On the beach, I said to myself, where 1,000 eyes can admire her.
I sell more insurance this way. Liability, life, fire. Pick a dune, Mark. Enjoy me.
You notified the bereaved widow of her solace.
$50,000 worth. When she started spluttering on the phone, I hung up on her. Spluttering widows bore me.
Oh, that girl, Duval. To kill her own husband and with her own gun, too, is shameless. Good boy like Freddie who never harmed anyone.
He finally makes history because I issue a policy on him. Make that Duval girl his wife and beneficiary. Easy. Easy because the Zapata Insurance Company gave me a gold watch once for loyalty.
She shouldn't have used her own gun. Leaves her so open to blackmail. Her a murderer, and with only $50,000 to her name.
Oh, but you'll lift her burden, Mark.
It was written in the stars, Wanda, for me to do that.
I'll share it with Wanda. Halfies. Hand me my rat, Mark, will you? The beach has had me. Oh, were you ringing my bell, mister?
Well, part of the time I was doing that, miss. The other part, in between buzzes, that is, I was watching you walk up the beach. You'll forgive me if I ran down your battery. The thing got out of hand.
If you're looking for a quick charge, there's a service station up the road. Me, I just sell insurance.
That's a dream I keep having. An insurance broker in a swimsuit. You work on small commissions, huh, lady?
The stuff's $20 a yard. I have these suits custom made. Now, if you step inside my office, I could diagram a little annuity plan.
Sorry, but I got an insurance agent that's been recommended to me, Wanda Webster. Big operator, handles stuff like $50,000 death benefits.
Well, don't look any more, mister. Wanda's all around you. Come on in.
I'll just tag along behind. Go ahead, Miss Webster.
Over there, that big leather chair. It's made for boys who get uneasy about $50,000 payments. Zapato's a big company, Mr.
Slate Shannon.
Zapato's a big company, Mr. Shannon. The largest in Mexico City. All my years of representing them, I find it's not unusual that they make death payments in that amount.
To a widow who never saw her husband? Didn't even marry him? You and Zapato are really big, Miss Webster. Generous, too.
Oh, you're referring, of course, to Miss Duval, or rather the widow Ney. Well, this is a photostat copy of the policy, Mr. Shannon. Bought by Freddie Ney from me. Beneficiary, Mrs. Freddie Ney, also known as Sailor Duval. Death benefit, $50,000. Look for yourself.
Yeah, look, Miss Webster, I don't know what's...
What's to know? Mr. Ney is dead. Your Miss Duval gets $50,000 for it. The check's on the way from Mexico. That way out, Mr. Shannon.
Anybody here?
Welcome, sir, to Shannon's place.
You Sailor Duval?
Did you want something?
Yeah, I want something.
Like what?
Like a chat with Sailor Duval.
So chat.
I have got here a little thing, Miss Duval. You recognize it?
Hey, that's my gun.
That's right. Long time ago, I hired a man to lift a gun in Havana, and he did it to you. Well, well.
Who are you, mister?
A man with a message. Here's the message, honey. Sign it.
With that gun in my eyes, I can't see it.
Squint.
The things you learn. Hey, this paper is an IOU to somebody named Mark Stewart for $50,000.
And guess what? I'm Mark Stewart. This gun, your gun, killed Freddie Ney. You're going to come into $50,000 any minute. The word is blackmail, honey. I lose the gun, you lose $50,000. Else, you know what's going to happen?
Yeah, it's kind of sneaking up on me.
Sign it. Else you'll commit suicide out of remorse for killing hubby Freddie. Now take the pen, honey. That's right. I'll sign. Thanks. Gee, you're nice.
On the beach, Slate. That's where you have to be to tell me what frolics went on between you and that Wanda Webster?
Yeah. Maybe the tropic breezes will blow a memory back into your head. She showed me the policy, sailor, the one Freddie Ney took out making you beneficiary.
Look, Buster, why all the bitter? You keep telling me I'm a rich girl now. So talk nice to me, and some of it might rub off on you. Talk nice.
That's what you've been doing, sailor, while I was out? Making a list of charities?
Yeah, just that. A poor fellow walks in and says, "Look, lady, I ain't killed anybody in I don't know how long, so would you please help out with $50,000?
What are you talking about?
That Wanda stuff your ears with olives. I'm talking about Mark Stewart, the guy who held a gun on a line with my eyes. This eye, this one here, then made me sign an IOU for $50,000.
And you did it, huh?
Sure, I'm not cheap.
You did something else, too, sailor.
Yeah. After he left, I started my breathing exercises again.
Practice good, sailor. You just signed a confession of murder.
This is where you had your big moment with that insurance agent, huh?
Up the steps, killer. Push the buzzer.
Watch me. Just watch me. On some bells, I can play Dixie.
Hi, Shannon. Oh, and you, poor dear, you must be Mrs. Ney, or Sailor Duval, or what shall I call you?
You can call me Morton if you want. I try to get along.
There's a check waiting for you, Morton. Come on in.
Slate, she likes me.
Yeah. Go in, will you? When did the check come, Wanda?
Oh, about 15 minutes ago. Special delivery, airmail. In here, my office. I want you to meet somebody. Him. Mark Stewart.
He and I have already met, haven't we, Mr. Stewart?
Oh? When did this happen, Mark?
Some time back, I stopped in the lobby of their hotel to buy a newspaper.
Fibber.
This the boy you were telling me about, sailor?
The very one.
Well, any friend of yours is my friend, too. Now, let's all us friendly people get on with it, huh? I hate to be crass at a moment like this, but I think we'll just take our 50 grand and blow.
Except there's something you people might not realize. I can't let you have the check, because you've got this to consider. This gun. Her gun. The one that killed Freddie Ney.
This a blackmail bit, Wanda? How much of this check do you people get?
All of it. Endorse it, honey.
Should I, Slate?
Endorse it, sailor.
Thanks, I'll take that.
Joker.
Oh, I forgot to tell you something, Wanda. It was just a little while ago that I paid a call on Miss Duval. I got her IOU for $50,000. I guess I've got prior rights on the check.
Oh, I don't care about that, honey. All I want is half.
I doubt whether you'll get it, Wanda.
You've also got a fine legal mind, Shannon. You've...
Poor Mark. Poor, greedy Mark. You have to understand why I shot him. It makes the world a better place to live in. Now, give me that check, Mr. Val.
How do you want it? All at once or a little at a time?
Fool, give it to me. Don't tear it. Give that check.
Hold on to me, Wanda. It's nicer.
Let go of me. Let go.
Get that gun, sailor.
Drop it, honey. It's my gun and I want it back. Thank you.
$50,000. All that money.
Slate, I've got the gun. You can let her go. Slate, I've got the gun. You can let her go. Slate!
Don't flip, baby. I'm just giving her a memory to take to the pokey. Go call the cops, sailor.
Our stars, Humphrey Bogart and Lauren-Bacall, will return in just a moment.
Hey, Slate! Slate!
Oh, hello, sailor.
What are you doing?
Oh, what does it look like I'm doing? I'm swimming in the ocean.
Swimming? In 2 feet of water?
Oh, so it's 2 feet of water. What do you want me to do? Get out over my head and get the bends?
Silly of me. Well, how do you like it, Slate? I went to Wanda's tailor and had it custom made. Nice bathing suit, huh?
Oh, that tailor did a nice job, all right. Nice material. Fine workmanship. Just fine.
So you like the suit? You like me in it?
Let the air out of my water wings, sailor. I'm floating on my own tonight.
And so, our two stars, Humphrey Bogart and Lauren-Bacall, have brought to a close our latest Bold Venture story. Special music was composed and conducted by David Rose. May we invite you to listen again next week at this time for another exciting adventure starring Humphrey Bogart and Lauren-Bacall together in Bold Venture.
It was audio tape that, as I said earlier, that allowed big stars, Cary Grant and his wife, Betsy Drake, doing Blandings, Mr. Blandings, for radio, for NBC, for TWA, as I remember, Trans World Airlines, which is now long gone. But Bogey and Bacall came in one weekend every 6 weeks, knocked out a bunch of these shows, turned around, went back on the golf course. Way to make a big chunk of money, and they did. Bold Venture, April 14th, 1952, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. I'm going to find more of these transcribed shows from the late 50s starring some big people. Not always great shows, but they sure were nice. just to be able to hear the stars in radio. By the way, speaking of the radio, would you thank this radio station and support their advertisers? It's their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you here each and every time we come around here on a Thursday on your favorite station. Would you also, if you miss a day on this station, you never have to miss a single show. You don't have to at all. They're always available through iHeartRadio, through Spotify, Spreaker, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon, even on Facebook. Just search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. That's Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. By the way, my webpage, you can stream them as well, classicradio.stream. You can also find all of our social media links there, so you can follow what we're talking about. And you can also contact me there directly at classicradio.stream. Have yourself a great Thursday. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite station.